Hello beautiful, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. My name is Chisom. On today's video we'll be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful maxi dress with an open back and lacing. If you're interested in learning how to go about this, sit back and watch to the end of this video. So for the upper part of the dress, I'm going to be using a pattern paper for it. Okay, now I've already gone ahead to mark out my shoulder line. Now for the neck width, I took 3 inches because I want it to be 3.5 inches by the time I'm done, joining everything together. So I took 3 inches for the width, and the depth I'm going to be taking 10 inches. Okay, so that's my bust point line. So now I'm going to connect from this bust point to the neck width. So for my shoulder, or should I say for my neckline, I want it to be tight. Okay, I don't want it to be gaping. So I'm going to come down from the top here. I'm going to come down by 0.25 because I'm still going to join it together to the other shoulder. So I will connect this point back to the shoulder slope. Basically I'm done with the front pattern. Okay, so this is my half length. From here to here is my half length for the front part. So for the back part, this is just a normal back pattern. Okay, my back half length. Now I have no dots on this pattern. Okay, so with the normal 1 inch back neck depth and 3 inches neck width, that is what I used for this. Now here is the chest line, the armhole line. On the center at the top here, the top neckline, I'll come in by 1 inch. On the armhole line, I'll come down by, let's say, 1 inch. Okay, I'll come down by 1 inch. So I'll know if I'm curving from this part, I am coming like this, and I'll stop right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so this is what I have. I'm using this upper one here. Okay, now I'm just going to blend this down so that I'll have a little piece where I'll be adding the joining allowance. So I'm just going to do this. This is like not up to ½ inch actually. Okay, so that is basically all there is with the back pattern. Let's go ahead and cut it now. Now this center back, or should I say middle back, is going to be having loop. Okay, from the top here I'm going to be putting loop. So I'll go ahead and cut out the front pattern as well. Now I'll go ahead and cut this out on my fabric. So I'm done cutting out right now. This is what I have. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is to cut the facing for the top part. For the back, I am going to cut exactly this shape. Exactly this shape is what I'll be using for the facing because it's not much. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut it out now. So I'm gonna head to cut out the facing for the necklines. This is for the front piece, and this is the back pieces. Just the way I said I was going to cut them, I have cut them. Okay, now I also went ahead to cut these strips of fabric, these strips from the fabric, which I'll be using this for the loops and the belt. So the width is 1.25. For the length, I cut enough to reach me to make the loops and also the belt. Okay, for the back pieces I want to be having 8 loops on each side. So these are the back pieces. I want to be having 8 loops here and 8 loops here. Okay, so I'll go ahead and fold this like this and sew it. After sewing, I'll turn it out before I now use it and place on the center back area. Okay, so I've made the strip for the loops. Okay, I sewed it and I went ahead to use my needle to turn it out. Okay, so I'll be cutting 2 inches of this strip. I'll measure 2 inches and then I'll cut it out. So I'm going to be cutting it out by 2 inches. So what I'm going to do, I'll leave ½ inch at the top for turning the neckline area. Okay, so from the top I'll come down by ½ inch and I'll place the loop like this. The first leg is going to be on that ½ inch mark. Okay, you see what I did? Let me pin this down. So I'll also be giving a space of ½ inch for the next one. I'll do it like this. So I'm done pinning them down. Okay, this is exactly how I'm going to do this other side. Now the next thing I'll do here after pinning is to get the facing and place it right side touching right side. So this is how I'm going to place the facing, and I'll sew from the neckline area like this, like this. Okay, make sure it's aligned. Okay, do the same on this one as well. Then I'll still go ahead and turn the neckline of the front piece, the front facing on the front piece like this, right side facing right side. Then I'll sew from the top here, from the top of the neckline. I'll sew it all the way like this, like this. Okay, so right now I'm done turning the neckline for both the front and the 2 back pieces, and these are what I have. So the next thing I'm going to do is to place the back pieces on the front right side facing right side. I'll go ahead and join the shoulders. I'll join them at the shoulders. I'll use the facing of the back to cover the shoulder like so, and I'll go ahead and join it together for both the 2 sides. Then I'll join the sides. So I have joined the front to the back, and this is what it's looking like at this point. Here is the front and here is the back side. Okay, so the next thing is to go ahead and cut the lower part, that is the skirt part. So to draft the skirt part, I want to gather the waistline. So to get the volume for the gathers, I'll be multiplying my waist measurement by 2. The waist measurement I'm working with, including zipper allowance, is 33 inches. So 33 inches multiplied by 2, that's 33 inches times 2 will give me 66 inches. So I'm going to cut 66 inches width, that's the waistline. I'm going to cut it with 63 inches, sorry, 66 inches, and the length will be the full length of my skirt, which is 43 inches including hemming allowance. So I'll go ahead and cut out 66 inches width by 43 inches length. So I'm done gathering the skirt. Is now exactly the size of my waist circumference. Okay, so now I have this band that I'll be attaching to it. I cut it 2.5 inches, and by the time I finish sewing it will give me 1.5 inches. Now the length is exactly the length of my waist circumference plus zip allowance. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll get the skirts in between the band. Now this is one piece of the band. I'll go ahead and place the lower part on the upper part of the skirt, like so, like this. So I'll go ahead and join the 3 pieces together. That is the 2 pieces of the band and the skirt. I'll join them all the way from one side to the other side with 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm done attaching the bands to the skirt side, and I also went ahead to iron it down, and while ironing I tuck in 1/2 inch into the upper side and I ironed it together so it will be easier for me to fix the top part. So what I'll do is I'll identify the midpoint of this skirt. I'll fold it like this. I'll chalk the middle. I'll notch the middle of the top part. I already have the notch here, so I'll go ahead and insert the middle part into the middle part of the skirt like this. To make it easy, I'll simply chalk the lower part where I'll be inserting into the skirt. I'll chalk it so I won't make mistake. I'll just follow the lines I have here when I'm joining it together. So I'll go ahead and attach the top to the skirt. After I'm done, I will close the lower part of the skirt and leave some inches where I'll be attaching the zipper. Okay, so after attaching the top to the skirt part, I'll go ahead and install the zipper. So right now I am done joining the top to the skirt. This is the outcome. I've gone ahead to install the zipper like I said before. So what is left now is to go ahead and cut the sleeve. So I have my fabric folded into 4 for the sleeve. Okay, now this side is unfold. My sleeve length is 24 inches. From the center I will measure 10 inches. This is me adding extra 2 inches to my sleeve, round sleeve measurement. So on that 10 inches I will come down by 5 inches. It's a little bit exaggerated. Okay, so I'm going to connect from this 5 inches mark I have here to the sleeve cap with my free hand, of course. So now on the lower part I'll take 7 inches. I'll add my 1/2 inch sewing allowance. So I'm going to connect from this point to this point with a straight line. So this is basically all there is with the sleeve. I'll go ahead and cut it out. Okay, I'm done joining the sleeve together. This is it. This is the elastic I'll be using for the wrist area. So in here I left a space, a tiny space for the elastic to pass through. So I'm going to use this pin to poke through the elastic like this. I'll lock it up and then I'm going to insert it through the opening I left. So I've pushed the bolt out. What I'm going to do, I'll take it to the sewing machine. I'll hold the two sides of the elastic together before I'll go ahead to close the opening I have. Okay, so I'll do this for both the two sleeves, and then I'll go ahead to attach it to the armhole area of the dress. So this is the outcome after attaching the two sleeves, and this has brought us to the end of today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching to the end. If this tutorial was helpful to you, kindly give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel if you're yet to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.